Check headlines. Coach Greg Gattuso, UAlbany Great Danes with us. Nice enough to make some time as prepares for what should be a really, really great season. A lot of fun as always because you got good kids on the team. You got a lot of great coaches. You got a great field and
great support.
Great station that broadcasts the games.
Fan base is getting bigger and stronger every year, which is really the most.
It's true too. I'm seeing a lot more UAlbany out there than I ever did before.
You see more UAlbany. I get stopped all over the area now versus when you first get here, and there's definitely been a more of an awakening about Albany football, and I think people are starting to respect who we're playing, and that's good.
I know, like we're joking. I was joking with you before the break. Last year you started against Buffalo.
Yeah.
And now it's Old Dominion, Villanova. I mean,
2018 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and the conference games, like they're no joke.
No, you got Delaware's been a national power for years, and Richmond and Villanova, and we don't play William & Mary yet, but that's coming, and so it's a challenge week in and week out, and it's fun. It's one of the big reasons I came here, and other than you,
well, yeah, so, people don't need to know how close we are.
No, I know. I didn't think anybody. But it's a big challenge, and the league is special, and when you play in a league that you can win a national championship, it's a big deal.
All right, so you brought scholarship level. Do you ever just look at the lacrosse team right now? They're putting 20 points, 20 goals up a game, and just look over at Sky Mar and go, I want him, and him when the season's over to come and run some routes and see how they are.
Yeah, the way they play, I'd probably put him at safety and let him come down and hit some guys, But no, that's the thing that's great at Albany is the competition level of our teams is so high. You see it in our basketball programs that they're winning their conference, or women's basketball played in the tournament, and you get to play the best. It doesn't matter sometimes the score, but when you're able to compete against people like that, it makes you better. And Will's done a great job in basketball, and really, I mean, both lacrosses are good. Our field hockey team is outstanding. They've been in the top 10.
I'm serious. You ever
I have, yeah.
You do? Okay,
yeah,
I would.
I try. I wish I got the more. I really want to get the baseball more because I love Mueller, and
Bam Bam's something special.
He's the best, and his. I can't
Dirty
say
Red
that,
Sox fan, but
he's you got to take the good for bad.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
But Albany's very successful in that Commissioner's Cup that we win every year. It says that our administration is really behind us, and sports is important, and that's a good feeling.
Now, Coach, I know Levack is trying to get an honorary doctorate from UAlbany, yeah, Dr. Levack.
Working on it.
You may be willing to do this, though, I think. Michigan football, one of your favorite programs besides UAlbany, they're going to start spring football this Friday. Coach Harbaugh is taking his team to Rome, Italy this year. What's it going to take for Mark Benson to get these guys to go to Italy, Spain?
I think we got a chance at Rome, New York. We might be
you just crushed my line because I actually, when that all came out, I was going to go to Mark and say, can we put out a press release that we're going to Rome? And I was going to put that out and see how far it would go before we had to say New York. So you just blew my whole deal.
Great minds.
Yeah.
But what could that mean for a program? Like, I get you guys are going to be here in the 518 and everything. He's an evil. I don't want to say evil genius. I want to say
most people do.
Well, I don't think he's evil. Evil's the wrong word. He's kind of one of those brains that figures out how to get around things, and I don't like it. I think it's bad for college football, and I think it puts an incredible amount. I coach at that level, and I hear all that. I hear his rhetoric about coaches get paid a lot and all that, but that's all great. We can handle any of the workload. That's easy, but sometimes it gets a little bit. It's not. There's an unfairness to it, okay, where certain programs are able to do certain things and they drive it, and ultimately it'll end up hurting football, in my opinion. I mean, it's great. It'll be great for the moment, but I think NCAA will obviously legislate against it, just like they've legislated against these silly camps that they're running around doing nationally. So
we're not taking the guys up to Great Escape.
Well,
we're not.
Since you ruined my Rome idea, But I think it's great, and like I said, there's certain at each level you get certain advantages, and that's great. I'm not against. I think it's awesome what happens to all the players. I played at that level. I get it. You get treated a certain way. And I think the way our athletes are treated is special. And that's part of this whole process because they work their tails off now.
Right.
I mean, if you see their schedules and what they go through for the course of a year, it's not an easy deal. But that said, now we're taking teams to Europe and and there's a way around it because there's a clause. I just not me.
So you feel like it's like an arms race now. Like, what can I get away with before we get regulated?
It's been an arms race. It's you see it in the facilities right now. It's an arm race for everybody. It's an arm race for us. We do what we can do with our budget, but we wore 11 different uniforms last year. In 11 different games, 11 different variations. It's cool. The recruits love it. It's all about recruiting. And that's where I say where his genius comes in is he understands. He's one of the best recruiters I've ever seen because he gets the concept of how kids operate, and they do, the shiny things, and they shop with their eyes, and so he's able to do something ridiculously different. It puts him in the forefront. It puts him in the news. Every kid around the country knows about it and is reading about it, and that's his genius. And I don't begrudge anybody that. I personally though don't think that that's good for football. I think these kids. They earn it. They get a lot. I think, it's starting to get a little out of hand. And it's nothing more than an arms race. I don't know if you've been around some of the facilities.
They save all that money on the khakis. They can use that.
True. He wears that. Yeah. No, but he does. Look, he's not doing one thing wrong. And that's what people have to understand. He's smart. He figures it out and he gets after it and he does a good job and he's turning the Michigan and back to Michigan. And you got to credit him for that. They all have their own. I know James Franklin at Penn State really well, and I think James does a great job. He's an enthusiastic coach, and he really does a great job on selling his program. From birthday wishes on Twitter to trying to get 107,000 people at the spring game. I mean, he pushes and pushes and pushes.
He went from the hot seat to the hottest coach in the country last year.
Because people don't have patience. He took over a program that was in trouble.
Right.
Had been, if you lose that many scholarships, I don't care who you are, it's hard to recover right away. I think O'Brien did a nice job, but I think, he came in and did a good job. Penn State's a really special place and he's able to recruit there. And, they had a good year last year and that's how this business is. It's become very, what have you done for me lately? And that's what's hard about it. It's hard to build programs. I actually think it's easier to make a splash sometimes. But it's hard to build programs. Really true program building takes a lot of work and effort.
Great Danes football coach Greg Gattuso with us right here on 104.5 The Team.
We're in headlines right now. One of the headlines that's being talked about is this quarterback named Paul Tyson. He's the great-grandson of Bear Bryant. He's considering not playing for Alabama. He may go to Notre Dame. He may go to Clemson. Have you ever been in a situation recruiting someone where because of the family ties, you're like, I don't have a chance to get this kid at all?
Yeah, I was actually. If you remember Richie Anderson. You remember Richie Anderson? Played for the Jets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good back, H-back kind of guy. I was recruiting his son in Maryland, and Penn State hadn't offered him yet. So we recruited him. We got him to commit. I had a long talk with Richie about, hey, look, if Penn State, he said, Greg, he's where he wants to go. Blah, blah. So we took him, he accepted, and then about a month later, Penn State offered, and he committed that day. So legacies can be hard. Legacies can be hard. I've been on both sides of it. I've been there where we've been able to get a kid because of a legacy, but I've also been part of some heartache where guys choose differently, So it's tough. And sometimes they don't want to go and be under that pressure,
Right.
I've seen that.
Strike out on their own.
Yeah. So. It's just it's an individual thing. I forget his name. He plays for the Steelers now. We chased him because his dad played at Pitt, and then we were fighting like crazy to get him. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
So whenever you say Steelers, I think of Antonio Brown, whose dad played for the Firebirds.
The legacies sometimes are helpful and sometimes are not.
All right, so we got.
Would you want to be Bear Bryant's kid at Alabama? Seriously?
Hell no. No chance.
Not on the football field.
If he was a guard, maybe. But
if I could be Van Wilder, get my own golf cart, just walk around. Hey,
if you're his grandson,
Cubby Bryant, how you doing?
I would want nothing to do.
You'd have to go 30 for 30 for 500 yards every game to please the Alabama fans.
If he was my kid, I wouldn't even let him go there.
Coach Greg Gattuso with us, and
my wife just texted me Haywood. So Colleen's on top of this.
Is she walking the horse?
She's actually painting today. She's doing a vertical ombre, so she's doing something new for somebody. Yeah, she likes to paint. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. So thank you for listening, by the way.
Bill's Grill Painting.
But do me a favor and walk away from the radio for 1 second. All right. So there's this golfer. He's a rookie. His name is Grayson Murray. Do you ever watch golf? I know you don't watch. Yeah, you don't watch a lot of pro football because you're so focused. Golf. All right. So Grayson Murray's a rookie. And he's came up with this idea. So if he makes the Masters, he's invited Lindsey Pellis to be his caddy. So if you're a rookie and no one's going to pay attention to you, why not go get a model?
Can you bring the computer a little closer to me?
Do you actually need to have it closer?
So, I love this idea.
I say it's getting like Happy Gilmore out there. That's perfect.
That's exactly what God said. Except for instead of a homeless guy, I go get a super hot model to walk around with.
Okay, it's a little better than Happy Gilmore.
Well, I mean, right. Like, if you... I
can't stop them. Right?
I don't watch Thursday and Friday. I'll watch like late Saturday. I'll watch Sunday when it comes to the Masters. I'll watch all 4 days, but I would watch Thursday just to see what's going to go down with this.
It'd be interesting what type of endorsements he gets out of it too.
It has to be the best of the best.
Yeah,
the best of the best of the best. So then we've got Eric, the producer, and Taylor, the intern today. So as soon as I tell this story, they send me over a link. Apparently, it was on Shark Tank. You can get hot women who know how to caddy. Like Lindsay doesn't know how to caddy.
Yeah, so there you go.
So the caddy girls is a thing.
I'm noticing not a lot of golf action going on in these photos. Just
There's
a lot
not one golf club in the whole
You're not. Let's be honest. You're not really hiring them for the golf.
No, I don't think so. But
but you know, I have daughters here now. So,
golf club?
But here's the question: you're telling me that a female can't be a great caddy? Is that what you're saying?
No.
To me?
Lindsay's not. Lindsay has said flat out,
checking.
I know nothing about golf.
Okay, I'll
the caddy girls, no, they're beautiful and they know golf.
Okay, yeah, you can be beautiful and know about golf.
And I've offered the lady golfers of the area, like Coach Cash, you need a hot little guy walking around with you carrying your clubs. I got you.
That guy right there.
Nick Bonarigo would be a cute little
little eye candy
model, right?
over at Mohawk
eye
Honda.
Candy, yeah.
He needs more fluffing of his ego. That's what he needs. We had the UAlbany was playing, so we took over the stadium for the CFQ Arena for the game because they were away. And I was like, I'll take, something with a logo on it because, we're buddies and whatever. I'll give you my car, but let me explain it to you because it's probably beyond you. And then spent 20 minutes explaining to me how his car works. So yeah, Nick Bonarigo, he's a great guy.
He's the best.
I'm going to get 5 seconds from a text. Leave me alone. So, all right. So, Coach, what's next for the program? I know the 22nd is the spring stomp.
You and I will be there 4 to 7, by the way.
Are we there for that?
Yeah, 4 to 7. We're going to be
good. See that? I'm excited. I'm going to spend my time with you guys.
Hey.
Do you need a little help on the sideline? You want?
I'm not going to be on the sideline. I'll let the coaches handle spring stomp.
Oh, all right. So we're going to be up in the stands hanging out?
3 hanging out. Nice. I like it.
We're actually,
this is Coach and I.
We do a lot of community service. And we're starting to partner. Andy Talley from Villanova started an incredible group. It's Be the Match. He partnered with them, and it's a bone marrow group that saves lives. We'll be doing that the Wednesday before the spring game. I wish I had the date at the tip of my fingers. Look that up.
Well, we'll get it.
Wednesday's the 19th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing that on campus, and hopefully our students are going to respond, and our team will be sponsoring that. So that's a cool thing. We had Garth Brooks in town. We had him we did a camp jointly with him that was really cool. He was spectacular.
Yeah, I got kicked out right before it started.
The camp.
They didn't want my kind of riffraff around.
Oh, you should say that. But he was unbelievable. He spent almost 20 minutes with my wife and I before the concert and hanging out and talking, and then at the camp, and he did a great job. He signed a shirt for one of the kids we work with that has cancer, so he'll be getting that in another week or so. So we're getting ready to go down and do the vet hospital. There are things we do as well as football, but most importantly, not most important, but the next thing is obviously we have the spring game on the 22nd, like you said. Then the coaches hit the road recruiting, and then we work with the MDA and the challengers locally. We have a big function we help with in June. My man Emilio Genzano and his gang run that. So, there are things that we're working on as we go through this summer, and then the summer program starts, so we'll have them all up here getting bigger and stronger and faster.
Listen, if you want help with that, the bigger, stronger, faster part, I'm in.
The bigger part, you're doing great. So I'm just telling you.
You've been hanging out with Bonarigo too much.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I definitely do.
I walked in last time I walked in there, Coach, and he's like, hey, I got your new jacket. And I go, oh, 3X? He goes, I got you a 4.
He's a little bit of a fat shamer sometimes.
He's totally a fat shamer.
He is.
Is that why you lost all the weight? Because you look great.
No,
you'll be a jerk to me. I'll be nice to you.
I'm not a jerk.
I'll have you know I went for a walk this morning.
Good. No,
to the bathroom.
he's But he's on. He was on meal. He just gives you that disgusted look sometimes.
Oh,
you know that look,
yes,
right?
I know all too well.
Then he goes home and does a few sets of curls and shoulders,
right?
And,
right.
They got a whole gym in their basement. Him and Kim.
You want to see what I look like with my shirt off? You want to see this? All right, Coach. You're going to want to get out of here because my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, who has watched like 2 college basketball games in the last like 2 to 3 years, beat Goz in the tournament challenge.
Oh, no. Seriously?
And we have to go over his punishment.
Good. I like it.
No, you don't, Coach.
You want to stay and help negotiate it?
You might have to help negotiate.
Well, my question is, does she pick like my family, my wife and daughter who aren't necessarily basketball ever played? They played, but they pick them based on, like, my wife loves Gonzaga, so, they like the color of the uniform and they like their nicknames and stuff like that. Somehow my wife beats me every year in our family deal. Every year. I gave up. I won't even do it anymore.
My daughter likes the show Supernatural, and on the show they're from Kansas, so she had Kansas win it all. But the guys in real life are from like Texas, so Texas Southern made it deep at one point.
16 seed. She had in her Final Four.
Yeah. Marquette was fun to say. That was a 4. But she beat Goz.
She's beating you with those picks?
It's over.
We'll talk about it next.
It's
how
over.
Right. We'll figure it out.
We know basically what the punishment is, but I'm willing to concede a few points for a few. If you want to give a little, I'm willing to give a little, because there's certain things I don't want to deal with here in the studio. So you're welcome to stay for the negotiation. But
take advantage of it. I'll probably listen to it.
Yeah,
so you got traffic over to Twins. So.
Yeah, but let me just tell you. Hopefully, you haven't eaten recently.